Welcome everyone to 4D, Def's Daily Dose of Dota. Today, it's Wednesday, November 5th. This is episode 18 of 4D. It's a mid-lane day. It's the middle of the week, it's Wednesday, and today we have a replay I've been waiting for a little while. It's EG.Arteezy's Midlane Templar Assassin. One of the heroes we haven't seen on him recently. It seems he's usually relegated to Razor, Death Prophet, or Lycan in a lot of recent tournaments in patch 6.82. But I think it's one of his best heroes, and it was recently pulled out in a match between EG and Alliance of the Dota Cinema XMG Captain's Draft 2.0. We're going to hop over to the split cam real quick, because I wanted to cover one thing on Templar Assassin before we start that I think will help explain his itemization and just what lies behind Templar Assassin's ability, and specifically Arteezy's ability, to blow people up. We're going to hop into the split cam. Of course I screwed it up, so we're going to try that one more time. There it is. Fantastic. I have Def Score open, my spreadsheet that I use to analyze Dota heroes and their interactions between each other. And what I have up on screen is Templar Assassin. What I wanted to focus on is just his collection of abilities. You'll see this on the gauge here. He matches up very favorably against most heroes. But if you look at his spell breakdown, this little pie graph I have here, you'll see the majority of his damage in a lot of these fights is auto attack damage. Upwards of 2/3 of your damage once you get higher up in levels. But there's a fair percentage of damage attributed to meld, which is bonus damage that you can use to open the fights, as well as damage attributable to refraction, which is another ability that just adds on damage. And specifically, if we go down to his damage breakdown, you'll notice everything's magic damage. Or, pardon me, everything's physical damage. No magic damage. There is some pure damage from his side blades. If he is kind of cleaving into other people, that damage is pure. But for the most part, it's going to be single target damage, and it's all going to be physical. So we'll see favorable matchups against strength heroes, for instance, that have low armor at later and higher levels. And we'll also see an itemization tendency to pick up things like Desolator, very popular item, as well as other abilities that enhance his right-click damage, like Daedalus. So we're going to hop into the draft. You already see it up on screen. We're going to get this rolling. Looking at the lineup, as I mentioned, this is the Captain's Draft Invitational, so we like to see some creative picks. This, you could definitely say this Undying pick is a little non-standard. Alchemist carry, I feel in this role by the stand-in Ape Mother for Alliance, is a bit atypical. And Pugna is not someone I've seen Admiral Bulldog play often. And I really don't see many people outside of the Chinese scene playing him.
Remaining.
Likewise for Evil Geniuses, we have
5 seconds
Fear
remaining.
on the Weaver. Very common pick for him. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Fear on the Puck. Guess they were just clowning around early with that. It's going to be Universe picking up the Weaver. Fear could play either. Arteezy on this Templar Assassin. Zai picking up potentially a carry Lena. We'll have to wait and see. And PPD on that wonderful RNGesus that is Ogre Magi. They're going to be occupying the off lane together, potentially. And although Puck could go mid sometimes, it's going to be Arteezy on the mid lane Templar Assassin. Looking at his itemization to start off, we see a very standard 2 Iron Branches and 2 Pooled Tangos. He still has 525 gold. That'll allow him, after usually the first wave of creeps, to
30 seconds
pick up that very pivotal bottle, and then have it ready for the 2-minute rune. On our opposing Alliance side, we see Alchemist. Similar setup. Iron Branch, 2 Tangos, though he's picked up a Ring of Protection and a Stout Shield. Wind Ranger, maybe soloing the easy lane. Might have Misery stick around to be pulling. Which will leave Pugna
begins.
and Undying, Ake's Undying,
Cut from the same cloth.
to stand in for the top lane. The creeps are out. We see Arteezy doing a fantastic job of blocking. Very critical here. I always like to see who wins the first creep battle, who can get the favorable placement for the first creep wave. Looks like he's very close to getting the range creep out, but instead just choosing to keep them all in. And it's slightly on his side of the map. And picking up that first point in refraction, Arteezy will have bonus damage along with a little damage mitigation as well.
Denied.
Already getting an early deny out. I have the last hits denies up for the early game. Very pivotal. Like it a lot more than Net Worth. Specifically since Net Worth does not have denies. We see Alchemist picking his first point in Acid Spray and just is going to be using that to try and harass Arteezy down and get in some last hitting. As we see Arteezy falling a little low, 250 HP. He did actually order in another set of tangos, but he already has enough money to have his bottle coming out shortly. And there it is, his first item. A minute in and just back to blocking. Wants to delay the creeps a little bit, get a little more advantageous position for him. He's level 2 now, picking up Psyblades. That pure damage, he'll now be able to cleave through the units. Though he's taking significant damage to that Acid Spray, along with melee clicks from Alchemist. But he's out of mana now. 39 mana, he only has one tango left. Arteezy knows his bottle is very close, so he can just continue farming. And with this wave, there will be no Acid Spray. They are very close on last hits, but we see that Alchemist is already going to have to wander away, choosing to contest that top rune. Along with PPD snagging the bottom rune away from Misery. Arteezy choosing to bottle Crow, send the bottle back to base on the courier in these first 2 minutes. His allies doing a fine job in the top lane. They're not going to need any items. That courier can be dedicated to him. Very pivotal that he wins the mid lane on a hero like Templar, because you have the ability to snowball, get a couple items, and just do an exponential amount of damage, where you really are winning most 1v1 battles. We see the lane pushing all the way up to the tower. He has refraction on, so he just gets a few more auto attacks in and uses another set of refraction. He knows his courier is coming.
First blood. The Wind Ranger gets
There was a
there
trade
first.
in bottom. We see Arteezy just with the refraction up, getting some right clicks in, using his time to also deny. You'll notice he has, right now, 12 last hits and 9 denies, almost 1 for 1, making it very difficult for Ape Mother in mid lane. He just now has his bottle coming out about a full minute and a half later than Arteezy. But with that bottle, he's now going to be getting the rank 2 Acid Spray, getting some more right clicks on the Templar. And Arteezy's low. But just cleaving out, clearing out the wave. He knows a rune is up in 10 seconds, so he will continue bottling. Getting Alchemist very low with those side blade cleaves. It's also pure damage, as well as increasing the attack range, but the pure damage meaning any kind of armor that one might itemize with an early hero, like a Ring of Protection, will be negated.
Is under attack.
But at the 4-minute mark, Arteezy picks up his bottle, has a refraction rune, or an invisibility rune, while popping refraction. You see, he's doing, now that he's level 6, almost 130 damage with the help of that refraction, nearly double what Alchemist is able to do. And he pushes back to the lane. 25 last hits, he is miles ahead. Ape Mother has his work cut out for him. That side trap a little too close. Looks like I guess it was barely in range of the tower. But Arteezy just positioning himself on Templar to have the side blades cleave through and get that extra damage in on Alchemist. That pure damage. Now up to rank 3 on Refraction. He has picked up his Psionic Trap. Getting another deny there. And at the 5-minute 22 mark, he begins to go in with an assist from PPD, getting a stun off. He's cleaving. There is a teleportation rotation from Misery.
Please, leave me something.
And that will help to secure the kill on Templar Assassin. We see Arteezy doing significant damage, but even with the assist from PPD, not quite enough
Dire's bottom tower
to
is
take down
under
the
attack.
Alchemist. Instead, he now has boots. He now has a band of Elven skin. He'll be ready to go a little faster. Able to close in, perhaps to get that 1 or 2 extra right clicks in the next engagement. Still is very ahead on the last hits chart. Net worth has him pretty far up as well. We see him just sticking in the lane, not really rotating out a lot. The acid spray from Alchemist is annoying, especially since he has a bottle now as well. He can continue this. Misery, standing in lane still just in case. Picking up his boots. Meanwhile, PPD is roamed back to the bottom lane to help Universe on the Weaver. Windranger is essentially soloing the lane now. And Admiral Bulldog has his work cut out for him as well, with Zai and Fear pulling and farming up as well. We see 37 last hits on Arteezy, 32 for Fear on the puck in the top lane. And they do use the Dream Coil, getting significant damage done to him, but here comes the mid. And Alchemist is able to help a double kill. But because of that rotation, Arteezy gets to continue farming. 43 last hits, 21 denies, and with this range, the siege creep rather, he will elicit a fortification from our alliance side. Just continuing to get some damage in. He knows no one's around, or does he? Ake and Misery lying in wait, waiting for that rotation. As we see Alchemist coming back down. The 8-minute rune is here. Arteezy is able to grab it.
Radiant's middle tower is
And he
under
has his
attack.
power treads now as his first large item. Also has the magic stick. So he will be significantly faster and a bit harder of a target to kill. He does pick up the bounty rune and will be able to run back to mid. Weaver finally claiming a solo kill on the Windranger in bottom with the help of a double damage rune. But Arteezy just staying the course. He has a couple creeps. He's able to push up on the tower and get significant
Radiant's
damage
bottom
into this
tower is
Alchemist.
under attack.
With 0 bottle charges, Alchemist should be very afraid of Arteezy's capabilities. Picking up a
Radiant's
second
bottom
point and
tower
meld
is
now,
under attack.
just to increase the bonus damage and armor reduction when he breaks out. Doesn't reduce the cooldown, but it also doesn't increase in mana. So, excellent ability to increase after you max out Refraction. Plus, Side Blades doesn't really help your single target DPS. The bonus attack range helps a little bit. Mainly it's going to be the Refraction
Radiant's bottom tower is under
and
attack.
catching someone in a psionic trap and melding for extra damage that will hopefully be enough to claim a kill. But we see him just maneuvering to try and get the last hit, along with getting a bit of cleave on Abe Mother, and there it is. We see him moving in, Refraction's up, the damage negation
Dire's top tower
and
is
damage
under
increase.
attack.
Help him secure a kill. 1,000 damage coming out there. Significant amount.
Radiant's bottom
And even
tower
with
is
phase
under
boots,
attack.
Alchemist's not able to get away. That's 1,000 gold going his way. He does pick up the bracer. might be building into Drums of Endurance to increase his speed. Meanwhile, Bracer, just great all-around item, increasing his stats, making him hit a little harder and survive a little longer. The 10-minute mark comes out. Fear has grabbed the top rune. Universe grabbing the bottom rune. So Arteezy will take this moment. He knows he couldn't have pushed up on the tower, to instead just do a little jungling. There's an interesting quasi-double stack here. That'll be a good 70 gold going his way. And he's going to rotate bottom. And find Misery now. Misery had just used that living armor.
Middle tower is under attack.
Not available for use on him, and Arteezy picks up a very easy kill with all that bonus damage. Once again, pulling out 700 damage very quickly. And now, with the wave coming in a straight line, he's able to use the side blades to help cleave it down. And that will be a double wave coming for the tower. If they're able to claim the kill on this tower, as we see the boots come in, that will be a very successful rotation from Templar Assassin. Arteezy knew not to rotate too soon, waiting until a potential not only kill, but also the tower could be taken down for his trouble. Because as a result, there has been a bit of free farm in mid lane. Windranger was there recently, but she's left. Zai has come mid lane now to just occupy. And Universe, along with Arteezy, are attempting to do Roshan now. The Refraction will significantly increase his DPS to burn through that 8,500. And it'll also make him a little harder to kill from Roshan. PPD coming in to assist, but this could be a very early Roshan
has fallen to
for our EG squad. He comes out, and then perfect timing. The 12-minute mark yields a haste rune for Templar Assassin. Ape Mother, with no one left in mid lane, has been able to push up on the mid. And we see a little bit of DPS coming out from PPD there. At least forcing the Chemical Rage from Alchemist. Templar Assassin is low, but he has a haste rune, he has Aegis. If anything, this is a time he would like to fight. PPD using the Clarity Potion, so he'll have a Fire Blast and Ignite combo ready again. And meanwhile, with 4 heroes occupying Arteezy mid, he's not able to get a lot done, but Universe able to get a significant amount of farm. We'll see the top 3 heroes, once you include Fear, are all on the EG side. And now with Zai joining him mid, he's level 6 after soaking up some XP on the mid lane. His Laguna Blade is ready. Haste rune being popped by Templar. Instead, he'll just choose to rotate up to the jungle. Get a little bit of jungling in. This is another 140 gold coming his way. Actually closer to 90. Now only 2 heroes are mid. PPD and Zai continuing to occupy soak up XP. And look at this. A stack by one of the supports will just ever so slightly increase Arteezy's farm potential. He's maxed out Meld now, and he's starting to max out the side blades. Just in time for this jungling session. He's already up to 2k gold. He has Drums of Endurance online. Might start working towards that Desolator to just blow up these heroes. If you come out of a Meld, you're immediately going to hit them with 8. And then, in addition to the bonus damage provided by Desolator, another 7. 15 armor reduction could easily turn a 20% armor reduction into a 20% bonus increase for that physical damage, which, as we talked about at the top of the show, is 100% of his damage. And for Templar Assassin's trouble, he finishes his farming of the top lane and claims a kill on that Treant Protector. We saw several strength heroes coming out for Alliance in this draft. The Undying, along with the Alchemist and Treant Protector,
Dire's middle tower
all of which
is under
very
attack.
susceptible to high armor
Dire's
reduction
middle
stacking,
tower has
which looks to
fallen.
be Arteezy's choice. He's already up to 3k gold, 1,000 away from that Desolator. It's the 15-minute mark now. The mid lane did end up falling, but
Radiant's top tower is under
Universe,
attack.
now with PPD in support, is starting to push up on this tier 2 mid. And Arteezy sensing a void of heroes in middle will now start to really just eat into this tower. They will
Radiant's
have
middle tower is
to
under
fortify
attack.
it. Even with Ape Mother here, this can fall very quickly. Instead, they'll rotate 2 heroes, Admiral Bulldog, as well as Ake, bringing up the rear. Though it is scouted by this ward coming out from EG. Arteezy will not die to any such shenanigans as a 2-hero rotation through the jungle. Not when he's so close to that Desolator item. And he will be very pleased to find this here. A double stack. This will be 400 gold coming his way. He will even commit both a refraction and a meld to it. He's in enemy territory, but this could definitely pay for itself. Especially since this, after this last creep dies... Oh, one more hit, Arteezy. Should be his Desolator. He drops the bottle, sends it back to base. And we'll just begin finishing up this last wave. 4,000 gold will soon be 4,100 by the time the courier reaches back to the base. And not a moment too soon. He should soon be able to take out this tower with his new armor reduction.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And there we go. A 17-minute Desolator. Very respectable. He did die once. But with the 3 kills,
Radiant's
that
middle
could soon
tower
turn into
is
4.
under attack. Radiant
With a multiple hero
structures are
rotation
fortified.
bottom. Arteezy still able to get significant damage into mid, though
Radiant's top
living
tower
armor is
is
starting
under
to heal it up.
attack.
He would love to rotate bottom here. He knows these are very susceptible strength heroes to his build. Instead, he'll just come back up, continue farming. Now with that Desolator, doing significant burst damage. And with the lane and bottom pushing up, he comes in to pursue. Tombstone has been popped along with Dust. Arteezy able to claim 1 kill, but he's hit by a duration volatile concoction. And one more attack from the chemical raged alchemist will claim the kill. Loda popping his focus fire to bring down PPD. And Universe, he has to run away.
Still be shooting.
He does. Fear is here, committing his Dream Coil. And although Arteezy is down, we see a significant trade. It's 2 for 2 right now. Still, could potentially be more. Universe wants to chase here.
Radiant's
He
middle
will have to
tower
return to
is
the
under
wave.
attack.
Money to burn.
We see, looking at the net worth, Arteezy, very high, has done a great job farming this game. Universe having the time of his life in the bottom lane as well. He's going to be completing that BKB very soon. With Arteezy back up, he comes back into the bottom lane. He has a Psionic Trap waiting for the next Roshan after his early kill. And he will refuse to go mid, where he knows that there are multiple heroes waiting to hold that tower. Instead, just continue farming up. There's a stack here. The time for that mid tower will soon come. And with that, we're going to take a break. That's definitely what I would consider the end of the early game here in this match between Evil Geniuses and Alliance. We've seen the bottom tier 1 fall. We've seen the top tier 1 fall. Both safe lanes down. Arteezy has lost his tower in mid, but he's done an excellent job farming. Also doing not only tops on last hits, but he has 32 denies as well. Making significant progress getting drums, his power treads, along with that Desolator. He is ready to do significant damage in this mid-game. He's facing up against 3 strength heroes who do not have significant armor gains, along with Pugna, who's just squishy in general. When we come back, we'll continue looking at the mid-game and see how many kills Arteezy can get with his newfound Desolator, his meld, -8. He is going to be a wrecking machine. We'll be back after this break.